The first day of school was supposed to be a fresh start for her. But instead, it became the day she would remember for all the wrong reasons. The bell had barely rung when a loud, mocking laugh cut through the hallway, followed by the sound of sneakers squeaking against the polished floor. 3 girls stood blocking her way, their eyes scanning her up and down like a predator sizing up its prey. Before she could even react, one of them lunged forward, yanked the backpack off her shoulders, and tossed it into the open trash bin beside the lockers. The room erupted with snickers and whispers, and in that moment, she felt her chest tighten, not from fear, but from the storm building quietly inside her. They didn't know her. They didn't know the story she carried. And they most certainly didn't know what she was capable of. If you believe in kindness, second chances, and the power to rise above hate, make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe to Ripple of Hope. Your support helps bring stories like this to life and spread hope where it's needed most. Her name was Layla Khan, and she had moved to this small town with her mother just 2 weeks ago. They had left behind the big city, not because they wanted to, but because the city had taken too much from them. Her father had died in an accident, leaving her mother drowning in bills and grief. Layla, just 17, had been forced to grow up far too quickly. Boxing had been her refuge, a discipline her father had taught her when she was just a little girl. The ring was where she learned to channel her pain into strength, to take the hits and still keep moving forward. But here, in this new school, no one knew that she was a junior boxing champion. They only saw a quiet, withdrawn girl wearing second-hand clothes and walking with her head down. She could have fought back that morning. She could have stopped the girls with one swift move. But she didn't. Instead, she bent down, pulled her backpack out of the trash, brushed it off, and walked to class without a word. The silence confused the bullies. They were used to seeing tears or hearing angry shouts. But Layla knew better. She had been taught that a fight is not won in the heat of the moment, it's won in the discipline to choose your moment. Still, the sting of humiliation lingered. As she sat in class, pretending to take notes, she could feel the heat of whispers behind her. She could hear the exaggerated laughter meant to make her flinch. Every day after that, it only got worse. The girls made it their mission to make her life miserable. They tripped her in the hallways, hid her books, and spread cruel rumors about her. Layla didn't tell her mother. She didn't want to add more weight to her already heavy shoulders. Instead, she bottled it all inside. At night, when the house was quiet, she would slip out to the old boxing gym a few streets away. The owner, an ex-fighter named Coach Ramirez, had taken her in like a daughter after hearing her story. He didn't ask questions, he just handed her gloves and let her work the bag until the sweat blurred her vision. "Control the fire, Layla," he would say. "Don't let it control you." But the fire was growing. One rainy afternoon, the bullying crossed a line. Layla had been sitting alone in the cafeteria when the ringleader, a tall blonde named Chelsea, walked over and dumped an entire tray of food onto her lap. The room erupted in laughter again, but this time something in Layla shifted. She stood, her eyes locked on Chelsea's, and for the first time, the bully took a small step back. Layla didn't touch her. She didn't raise her voice. She simply picked up her things and left. But she knew the time was coming. The turning point arrived during the school's annual charity fair, where events were organized to raise funds for local causes. One of the booths featured a glove-up challenge, where anyone could spar for fun in a safe, padded ring set up in the gym. Chelsea and her friends saw it as another opportunity to humiliate Layla in front of the whole school. They taunted her loudly, daring her to get in the ring. For a moment, Layla hesitated, until she saw her mother standing in the crowd, watching with quiet concern. Then she stepped forward. The crowd cheered as Layla climbed into the ring. Chelsea smirked, thinking this would be an easy win. But when the bell rang, everything changed. Layla moved with the precision of a trained fighter, dodging Chelsea's wild swings effortlessly. Then came the first clean jab, controlled, measured, but enough to snap Chelsea's head back. Gasps filled the gym. Layla didn't need to hurt her. She just needed to show her. A few more skillful moves and Chelsea froze, realizing she was in way over her head. The referee stepped in, and Layla simply raised her gloves, offering a respectful nod before stepping out of the ring. The next day, everything was different. The whispers in the hallway were no longer mocking, they were filled with awe. Chelsea avoided her, and the bullying stopped altogether. But the victory wasn't about the silence of her bullies. It was about the quiet pride in her mother's eyes that night, and the knowledge that she had faced her storm without losing herself to anger. If this story touched your heart, please take a moment to like, share, and comment to let us know. Your engagement keeps the ripple of hope alive and helps us keep telling stories that inspire. Special request to comment: what's one moment in your life where you chose strength over revenge?